Okay, moving on to Pause and Practice 2-3, which starts on page 109. I opened my Pause and Practice 2-2 and did a save as to make it Pause and Practice 2-3. And in this project, we're going to be adding some more functions: math and trigonometry, financial, logical, lookup, and date and time. These functions provide important financial information on sales and future investment opportunities to finalize the Paradise Lakes Resort workbook. So the first thing we're going to do is to enter the SUMIF function to determine the total mortgage. We click on cell E20, which is next to where it says mortgage total. Click the Insert Function button, which is on the Formulas tab, Function Library group, right here. And where it says search for a function, we type SUMIF and click Go, and it'll bring it up. Anything that has something similar. So we choose the one that says SUMIF, click OK, and first we need to enter a range. So the range argument text box, and we select the range A10 to A13. So A10 to A13, okay. Then in the criteria argument text box, we type mortgage, and you do have to have quotation marks, E quotation, and then the sum range is H10 to H13. All right, so make sure that this is what it says up here. So it says SUMIF A10, comma, mortgage, comma, H10 to H13. Okay, and the answer is $71,742.38. All right, next we're going to enter a sum product function to determine additional income for extra rented cabins. So we click cell G20, additional income with more rented cabins. We're going to click Insert Function, Sum Product. So up here we type choose it, okay. All right, so with Sum Product we have array function arguments. So the first one, the array 1 is B16 to H16. Array 2 is B18 to H18. And array 3, there isn't one. So it's just 1 and 2. So up here we make sure that it says sum product of B16 to H16 and B18 to H18. Okay? And comes up with $143,045.12, which is what it should come up with. Next, we're going to do the round function to round the net income in the spreadsheet. So we click on E21, next to where it says rounded net income, insert function, and then we look for round, go, round, okay, and in the function arguments dialog box, we type H16 and the number argument, so H16, and 1 and the num digits argument. Verify that the syntax says round H16, comma 1, okay, and that's what it rounded it up to, $135,044.50. Next, we're going to do a payment function to determine payments if the organization were to purchase additional cabins. So we go over to the investment options sheet tab, click on B7, and use the insert function button to insert the payment function. So insert function, up here we search for payment, which is just PMT, go, there it is, click OK. All right, so now it tells us what to fill in on the payment function. In the function arguments dialog box, we click on the rate, okay, if it's not already selected, and we click cell B6, and you can actually click the cell, put it in there. Be sure to divide B6 by 12 because the organization will be making monthly payments. So it's not just B6, it's B6/12. All right, now in the NPER argument box here, and that's the total number of payments for the loan, and we click B5, which is term in years, but then we need to multiply that by 12 because there's 12 months in a year. The multiply is the asterisk, so times 12. And then in the PV argument box, which is the present value, the total amount that a series of future payments is worth now, and we click cell B4, so B4, which is the loan amount. All right, and then we don't do anything with the last two arguments because we want it to be a zero balance after the last payment is made, and payments will be made at the end of each period. So we click OK, and the correct result is, in red, $2,415.70. And that is a negative value, so leave it for now. And then we're going to put in an if function to determine if the organization should take out the loan for the investment. Compare the monthly payment to the lowest monthly sales total from the Location 1 Cass Lake sheet tab. If the monthly payment is lower, choose to make the investment. So we click on B13 here, where it says Purchase New Property, ? And we're going to insert the if function. So here, and here it is down here. You don't even have to search for it, unless it's not showing, and then you do need to search for it. Click OK. All right, and the logic test for this, the logical test is minus B7 and the less than. So the less than is the shift key and the comma key. All right, so minus B7 less than. Then we go over to the Location 1 Cass Lake sheet and select B23. Okay, verify that the logical test argument is minus B7, we can do it up here, is less than Location 1 Cass Lake, ! B23. Click the value if true, and you type yes in quotation. And the value if false is no in quotation mark. All right, and then you click OK, and it says yes. All right, so make sure that your formula syntax is equals if minus B7 less than Location 1 Cass Lake ! B23, comma, yes, comma, no. And yes and no are both in quotations. All right, so the correct answer is yes. Then we're going to enter a VLOOKUP function. This is the last one for this assignment, to determine the cost of various products. So we're going to select the product cost sheet tab, click on B4, and use the insert function button to insert the VLOOKUP function. So insert VLOOKUP, click OK. All right, so now we go to the lookup value argument text box, and we click on A4. Then we click the table array argument box and select the cell range E4 to G8. So that is E4 to G8. And then we need to apply absolute cell reference symbols by pressing F4. Then click the call index num, if the column number in table array from which the matching value should be returned. The first column of values in the table is column 1, and we want it to be column 3. So type in a 3 there. Don't worry about the range lookup argument. It will default to true and find the closest match. So we click OK, and the result of the calculation is in B4, and it's 2550. And then we're going to copy that formula to B5 and B6. So there, 1025, 245. Make sure that everything has borders around it. Whoops, they don't. So we need to add borders. Okay, there we go. That's it. Save and close the workbook.